In this video, we'll be learning about the different types of differential reinforcement. To help us understand the concepts, we'll be using Timmy and his teacher to demonstrate examples of DRA, DRI, DRO, and DRL. Our first term is DRA, which is differential reinforcement of alternative behavior. DRA is the reinforcement of another behavior besides the unwanted behavior. In this example, Timmy has a problem with yelling out in class and speaking out of turn. If his teacher wanted to use DRA, then she would reinforce Timmy every time he raised his hand, and ignore him if he spoke out of turn without raising his hand. The next term is DRI, which is differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior. For DRI, you would reinforce a behavior that cannot happen at the same time as the unwanted behavior. Going back to Timmy and his teacher. Now Timmy has a problem with standing on his desk. If the teacher wanted to use DRI, she would reinforce Timmy when he is sitting down, but not when he is standing up. This is DRI since Timmy cannot be standing up and sitting down at the same time. Next is DRO, which is differential reinforcement of other behavior. DRO is the reinforcement when the undesired behavior is not displayed for a certain amount of time. So if Timmy had a problem with constantly getting out of his seat, his teacher would use DRO to reward Timmy for sitting in his desk for 5 minutes. Eventually, she'll be able to increase the time Timmy remains seated at his desk. Last is DRL, which is differential reinforcement of low behavior. DRL only reinforces the behavior sometimes in order to decrease that behavior, but not completely extinguish it. If Timmy constantly raises his hand to answer every question in class, his teacher can use DRL to only call on him sometimes. That way, Timmy will not get reinforced every time he raises his hand, and will raise his hand less. So let's review. DRA is when you reinforce a behavior you want to occur and ignore the behavior you don't want to occur. This leads to the extinction of the unwanted behavior. DRI is when you reinforce the behavior you want to occur that is incompatible with the other behavior. DRO is when you never reinforce problem behavior, and you reinforce desired behavior when it happens for a certain period of time. And finally, DRL is when you reinforce the behavior only in certain circumstances to decrease the behavior's frequency. I hope this video was helpful in recognizing the different types of differential reinforcement.